today's meeting, but we'll have to step out for agenda item 13 as my proposal is being considered today as part of the community fund, so I have an interest to declare, but another of my colleagues will take over to the chair for that item. So good afternoon and welcome to the meeting of Cabinet today, 22nd of September 2021. Today's meeting will be recorded. I would also like to welcome any members of the public and press to today's meeting. Can I kindly ask you to observe the meeting only, as you're not allowed to speak or participate in the meeting. Please ensure that your phones are switched to silent for the duration of the meeting. In addition, can I refer you to the protocols for remote meetings, which has been previously highlighted in the Scrutiny Committee. The next item on the agenda is to do a roll call. I am Councillor Leanne Jones, Deputy Leader of Neath Talbot County Borough Council and Chair of today's meeting. Jane, would you please take a roll call?
Yes, thank you, Chair. Councillor Karen Clement Williams.
Yes, I'm here, Jane.
Councillor Harvey.
I'm here, Jane.
Councillor Doreen Jones has had to leave for another meeting, so sends her apologies. Councillor Latham's apologies. Councillor Lockyer.
Here, Jane.
Councillor Rees.
Here, Jane.
Councillor Richards also sent his apologies. He's had another meeting to attend. And Councillor Wingrave.
I'm here, Jane.
And if I go on, and Councillor Freegard.
I'm here, Jane.
I'll now go on to officers. Karen Jones.
Here, Jane.
Howell Jenkins.
Present.
Andrew Jarrett.
Present, Jane.
Andrew Thomas.
Andrew sends his apologies, Jane, because there's an Eston inspection this afternoon. We just have to go and receive the feedback.
Hugh Jones.
Yes, I'm here, Jane. Thank you.
Nicola Blackmore.
Present, Jane. Thank you.
Karen Furlow.
Present, Jane.
Sean Davis.
Apologies
Sean Davis.
from Sean. Apologies, Jane, from Sean.
Rhian Heaton.
Present.
Kerry Morris.
Apologies from Kerry. Jane, I'll cover his item.
Lana. Is Lana Bynan here?
No, same. I'll cover that item.
Mike Shaw.
Yes, here, Jane. Thank you.
Craig Griffiths.
Present, Jane.
Charlotte Davis.
Present, Jane.
Is there anyone present here participating in the meeting that I haven't called out?
That'll be me, Jane. Paul Hinder.
Paul. Sorry, Paul.
Yeah.
And me, Jane. Nicola Pierce.
Sorry. There we are, Chair. That is now roll calls complete.
Lovely, thanks, Jane. Moving on to item 3 on the agenda, there are no announcements for today's meeting. Item 4, are there any declarations of interest? If I could ask members to say what the declarations are for the recording and not place in the chat box. So I've got a declaration of interest on the Members Community Fund. There's something for my ward in Tonna. Any further? No, none. Okay. Item 5 of the agenda, which is minutes of the previous meeting. I now refer to the minutes of the previous meeting held on the 28th of July and the 1st of September 2021. Before I move confirmation of the accuracy, are there any comments on the accuracy of the minutes? No. I now move confirmation of the accuracy of the minutes. Can I please have a seconder?
I second.
If you do not indicate to the contrary, it will be assumed that you're happy with the accuracy of the minutes. Item 6, forward work programme. Jane, anything to add to the work programme?
No, Chair, that's just for noting.
Lovely, thank you. Item 7, which is the Revenue Budget Monitoring and Update Report for decision. The report is on pages 19 to 36. Howell or Hugh or Nicole, any further to add?
No, Chair. Just to reiterate, this is a bi-monthly report that will come forward to Cabinet. This is the second one for this year at the end of, as at the end of July. There will be a further one at the end of September and bi-monthly thereafter. So the figures will be updated and change as we go through, and happy to take questions.
Great, thanks, Howell. Councillor Clement Williams.
Thank you, Deputy Leader. I'd just like to say that I've said everything I need to say in the Scrutiny Committee. I know it's their meeting, however, today my name was raised and I did want to remind them about the seminar. So I won't be adding anything, but I've already commented in that committee. Thank you, Deputy Leader.
Great, thanks, Councillor Clement Williams. Any questions, members? Any further? No. Members are referred to the recommendation on page 29 and appendices 1 to 4 of the report. I propose, if I could have a seconder, please.
Yes, I'll second, Deputy Leader.
Great. Confirm approved. Item 8, Capital Budget Monitoring 2021-2022 for decision. The report is on pages 37 to 46. Howell, who on the call, do you have anything further to add?
Only to inform members that there is a significant programme with investment of £84.7 million being proposed for the current year. Lots of work being undertaken by colleagues across the whole of the council, especially in the Environment Directorate, to ensure that these improved services will be progressed and delivered as the year progresses. So lots of work, and there's £26.5 million or £26.2 million worth of spend to the end of August already against that programme of budgets.
Great, thanks, Howell. Any questions, members? No. Members, I refer you to the recommendations on page 40 and appendices 1 and 2 of the report. I propose, if I could have a seconder, please.
I'll second, Deputy Leader.
Thank you. If members do not indicate to the contrary by raising your electronic hand, I will assume that you're in favour of the recommendation and confirm approved. Item 9, the Treasury Management Monitoring 21 to 22. This report is for monitoring, so no decision is required. Item 10, I know Sean did come in on Cabinet scrutiny and made the amendment that was on page 56 and highlighted this as well, members. So this is for decision. The report is on pages 55 to 230. Karen, do you have anything to add?
Chair, thank you, Chair. I would just like to say very briefly, we bring forward this annual report every year, which is an assessment of our progress towards achieving our wellbeing objectives. This annual report is slightly different this year because, as well as setting out that progress, and it's pleasing to report that we achieved the majority of what we planned to do, during the year, we also responded to a major pandemic. We responded to the major flooding incident at Skewin, as well as the incident at Seven Sisters. So there's 2 stories in this annual report this year, Chair, and happy to take any questions.
Great, thank you, Karen. Any questions, members? No. Okay, members, I refer to the recommendations on page 59 of the report. I propose, could I have a seconder, please?
That was second.
Mike.
Thank you. If members do not indicate to the contrary by raising your electronic hand, I will assume you're in favour of the recommendation and confirm approved. Item 11, which is the Strategic Equalities Plan Annual Report, which is for decision. The report is on pages 231 to 298. Karen, anything further to add?
Nothing to add, Chair.
Thank you. Any questions, members? None. Members, I refer to the recommendation on page 235 of the report. I propose, if I could have a seconder, please.
I'll second, Deputy Leader.
Thank you, Councillor Wingrave. If members do not indicate to the contrary by raising your electronic hand, I will assume you're in favour of the recommendation. Confirm approved. Item 12, Placemaking Charter for decision. The report is on pages 299 to 316. Nicola, have you got anything further you want to add?
No, nothing further, Deputy Leader. Thank you.
Great. Any questions, members? No. Members, I refer you to the recommendation, which is on page 307 of the report. I propose, can I have a seconder, please?
I second, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Rees. If members do not indicate to the contrary by raising your electronic hand, I will assume we're in favour of the recommendations. Confirm approved. So as you all know, I said at the beginning that I have got a declaration of interest on item 13. I'll be leaving the meeting now, and a fellow colleague will be taking over as chair.
Can I propose that Councillor Rees takes over the chair, please?
Yeah, second that.
Right, thank you. Thank you, everybody. The report is on pages 317 to 336. Paul, do you want to add anything to this report?
No, I think you're pretty self-explanatory. The first 2 applications just simply to augment the situation in one local rugby club and one local football club. The third application is a multifaceted bid involving contributions from the school, from the PTA, from a local wind farm, and from Councillor Purcell's members' fund allocation. So, no, without any further ado, I would say that obviously these proposals have been put through the microscope, and I would recommend approval. Thank you.
Any questions from members?
No.
I don't see any. Members, I refer you to the recommendations on page 320, appendices A to C, and the appendix 1 of the circulated report. I propose, if I could, have a seconder, please.
Second, Chair.
If members do not indicate to the contrary by raising your electronic hand, I will assume that you're in favour of the recommendations.
No indications to the contrary, Chair.
Confirm approved. Jane, will you call the Deputy Leader back in, please?
I shall. There we are, the Deputy Leader. Oh, I'm just calling her now.
Thanks.
Deputy Leader, you back in?
I am back in, Jane, thank you. Okay, so moving on to agenda item 14, which is the purchase of hybrid meeting system and refurbishment to the council chamber. This is for decision. The report is on pages 337 to 356. Karen or Craig, do you have anything to add?
Nothing for myself, Chair.
Nothing for me
Karen,
either.
no. Councillor Rees?
Just to say, Chair, that we're obliged to do this. It's legislation. We've got no choice really. But I think the comments made from Councillor Patterson were well made, and I noted what she's saying, and I concur with what she's saying. We've got no choice in it. So that's all I wanted to say, Chair.
Thanks, Councillor Rees, and I agree, there's variation of comments at the moment, but like I've said, there's 22 authorities in Wales are all doing this and moving forward, and I think we need to move with the times, and this hybrid approach is available for all then, those that want the face-to-face meetings and those who want to stay on with technology. But I think it is something that needs doing, and looking forward to the future really, and making sure that we're adaptable and transparent to all our residents in Neath Talbot. So thank you for those comments.
The point made by Councillor Patterson, of course, is the timing of this, isn't it? And the circumstances that we've found ourselves in with COVID, etc., and the circumstances that the public are having. So that's all I wanted to say, Chair.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Councillor Rees. Members, I refer to the recommendations on page.
Got my hand up.
Oh, sorry, Councillor Clement Williams. Councillor Clement Williams.
It's okay, no worries. Yeah, I second what Peter has just said, and I just want to reiterate that I will continue to be cheeky and ask through the WLGA ministers if they will be willing to help us fund this further. It is cheeky, but I will continue to ask, because I agree with the point that Councillor Rees and Councillor Patterson made. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Councillor Clement Williams. Members, I refer you to the recommendations on page 347, and the 11A is appendix 1 of the circulated report. I propose, if I could have a seconder, please.
I can second, Chair.
Lovely, thank you. If members do not indicate to the contrary by raising your electronic hand, I will assume you're in favour of the recommendations.
No indications, Chair.
Thank you. Confirm approved. Item 15 is the South West Wales Corporate Joint Committee. This report is for information only. Item 16, Officer Urgency Actions. This report is also for information. I have no urgent item. Oh, apologies, Councillor Clement Williams.
Chair, can I just ask, it's been quite a long meeting, and we're due to have Cabinet Finance Subcommittee meeting. As long as everyone is okay, I'm happy to go in, but does anybody need a quick comfort break before we leave this meeting?
I'm fine, Councillor Clement Williams. Anybody else?
I don't see any other hands up, so yeah, that's fine. I just wanted to check everyone was comfortable. So I'll see you in a couple of minutes.
Lovely, thank you. So I have no urgent item, so that concludes the business for today, and thank you all for attending, and have a good evening. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.